So our soul purpose does not need to equal our vocation. There is great confusion about this. I hear it all the time from clients that they think that their soul purpose, their soul's calling, their desire, their whatever, their like plan on earth must equal what they do for a living. That's malarkey. It does not. So here's the thing that I have been getting downloads on for years and years, that this is a human construct. This is a human idea that we need to somehow have our, the way we make money, the way we provide for ourselves and our families needs to be connected directly to our soul purpose. Well, if that was the case and every awakened person on the planet was then a healer or a spiritual activist or something like that, who would pick up the garbage? Who would serve us McDonald's and all that kind of stuff? So here's the thing, is that really you can take your soul's purpose, you can take your superpowers, your what drives you, what you're passionate about, what you're joyful about. You can take that into any job you do. Anything. Basically, our soul purpose is to love. It's to experience life. It is to experience love. It is to put out love. It is to have joy. That's it. There's no should around what we do. Now, I had a client once several years ago, so this has been on my plate for a long time, and she worked in corporate America, and she worked specifically with Fortune 500 company CEOs, and she would bring them together for, I'm not even sure exactly, but she worked in corporate. She loved it. She loved her job, and she really loved all the perks that it brought her. She had a very good salary. She had a great condo. She had fantastic clothes. She didn't want to give any of that up. Now, what she discovered in some self-discovery workshops and some meditation and so forth was that really she had the heart of a healer, that she was this wonderful light worker that was here to help heal the world. When she found that out, she was so disappointed. I mean, she was excited because that sounded fantastic, but the humanness in her didn't want to give up her fantastic job. And when she came to me, I was like, well, why would you give it up? Because what area more in corporate America or in anywhere needs love and healing than corporate America? I'm like, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. So you can take your superpowers, which is healing. And she brought it to the boardroom. So how did that look for her? For her, and this is not saying it's the same for everybody, but it has come up again and again for people that I've done readings for, is that she took the act of prayer. She took the act of clearing a space. She held the intention for collaboration. She basically created a nest. So the boardroom was her nest. An in would flock, mostly men, in a very competitive, very masculine driven world. And in her boardrooms, in her meetings, there was vulnerability. There was collaboration. There was really asking deeper questions. And she said within 2 months she would pray ahead of time. She would go into the boardroom. She would clear the space energetically. She would call in higher beings like angels or whatever worked for her in that situation. She would hold the intention that each person who arrived through the door would feel a healing, would feel a lightness, would get to see their own worthiness, because many of those people did not see their own worth. Then, within 2 months, she says that there would be like sharing, like she was just shocked. People would not miss a meeting. If she was hosting, nobody would miss a meeting. Everybody was there. Everybody was pulled to be there. Everybody hung out afterwards. Companies started collaborating together that had been in competition before. She was shocked at the results, and yet it felt so natural. I spoke to her about a year and a half after we had had our reading or our session together, and she said things were still going in that vein, only more so. And she was asked to host many events, to participate in many corporate events where it was her arena was getting bigger and bigger, and yet she did the same thing. She would clear the space, she would hold intention. Her intention was always love and healing and for people to see their worth. So you can take whatever you think or you feel that your calling is and put it into any job that you're currently in. So there's no need to quit your job to then go off and be a Reiki master and live in a forest in a yurt. That's not what the universe is calling for. It's calling for all light workers to bring their light into all aspects of humanity, which includes corporate America, which includes blue collar and white collar and everything in between. So if you are called to be a Reiki master and live in a yurt, by all means do that. But if your lifestyle or where you are presently as a stepping stone, and most of us have a stepping stone, we kind of like have this epiphany or an aha around what our soul's purpose is, and then we look at where we are and we think that there's a disconnect. What if there's not? What if where you are is the perfect stepping stone to whatever's next? So this idea that having a spiritual life requires a woo-woo kind of atmosphere, it's not necessarily true. This is not the calling for everybody. Some people love their other jobs, their jobs that they don't see the spirituality in. Well, you can bring it to the job with you. Often I get information in readings where it's like, people say, well, I don't have an important job. I'm an administrator, or I work, actually in the past 6 months, I've had a few people, women especially, who worked administration in more labor intensive jobs. So for gravel pits, for construction companies, for things like that, where it's mostly a male environment, but she's like one of 5 women out of, 500 men. So they feel very overwhelmed and things like that. But just like this woman did, you too can bring your spiritual path, your superpowers, your light and love to the workplace. Just hold intention. Just clear the space. So anybody who walks within 3 feet of my desk or 5 feet of my desk, this is my nest. This is where I'm going to hold space that people feel. Choose whatever you would like. So maybe this week you want everybody to feel just a little bit more relaxed. Maybe there's some stress going on at work. Maybe you want everybody to feel secure. Maybe there's some anxiety going around work. Maybe you want people to feel that they're worthy or they're loved, or just to bring a little joy or silliness to the game. Anything you want is completely up to you. Bring your love, bring your light, bring your high vibes to any workplace you are currently at. The second piece of this puzzle, or second side of the coin, I guess, is that I am also often told, well, I'm told a lot lately, that how we leave one thing is how we arrive at the next. So if this particular job is indeed a stepping stone onto something that feels more in line with who you are or who you're becoming or what you would like to become, you want to be in a place of gratitude, a place of joy, a place of serenity and ease in your current job, because that's how you're going to land in the next one. So as people are transitioning maybe from one job to another, now this The same thing applies, same rule applies for relationships, for anything, for homes, for whatever. So how we leave one place, we're going to take us with us, is how we arrive at the next. So whatever vibration, whatever emotions you're carrying from your last job, that's how you're going to show up in your next job. It's also how you're going to find the next job. So many people I hear, well, I left this job because it was frustrating and nobody was treated fairly or whatever. They arrive at the next job and they think it's going to be so much better, when in fact within weeks they discover that it feels just the same way the old job did. Well, guess what? You're the common denominator. So you brought your emotions and vibration with you. So when we take our light to work and our joy and our love, then we create a vibration at work that is joyful, that is light, that is love. And if this is a stepping stone and you want to step away from it, that's fine. So gather all the golden nuggets you can from where you're at. When I started this job, I didn't know anything and I learned so much. I work with great people. I love the hours. The paycheck was fantastic. Whatever it is that's a golden nugget, make sure you grab onto that. Then imagine somebody sliding into that position that is going to be perfect for it. Maybe they too are going to be starting out where they're just starting to learn, or the hours are fantastic because they're a young mom, or whatever it is. Know that the next person is going to slide into place so that you can slide right out into a new position that has the energy that you left the old one with, which was love and light and forgiveness if needed, but also gratitude. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was a little insightful. Please leave comments below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more ahas and inspiration and things all around intuition and our spiritual path. Thanks, y'all, and you have a great day.